Okay, in this video we're going to talk about the NAP name address phone consistency, and I'm going to show you a method to check and see if your business has any issues in that area. And this is free to do. And there's actually some pros to doing it manually like this, although we do have some automated solutions here for our clients at Fluid IQ Digital. And also, as a side note, if you haven't downloaded the Strategic Website Optimization Guide, we recommend that you do that so that you can start using our proven tactics today to start improving your traffic and leads. And the guide actually is complete enough where anyone can actually look at it, follow it, implement, and start getting more leads and ultimately retainers in the short term. So here we're using Brandt's Lawn Care Inc., which is a lawn care service up in Wisconsin, just for the purposes of this example. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the name of the business exactly the way that we want it, or the way that it is in Google My Business, which is the maps listing, right? So we're going to take that and put that exactly in here. And see what other sites have this listed. Have this business listed outside of the the site for the company. So that's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at other companies, other sites, other listing services that have this listed. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that this business name, exactly as it's preferably registered with the state, but especially that it's the most important thing is the way it's listed in Google My Business itself. We want to make sure that the name, address, and phone, that's why it's NAP, called NAP consistency. The name, address, and phone matches on all of these other sites, and that we don't have old information out there, old addresses, old phone numbers, or something that's a little different. We want it all to be the same so that all of the reviews and everything that's out there gets accredited to the right business, which helps our map ranking and gets more calls and more traffic from just the map rankings. But it also makes you easier to find and all of this on the other sites, so people are actually seeing all those good reviews. While you're going through here, if you do have some review issues, it might be a good idea to go ahead and note that which sites have reviews, so that you can go and reply to them or whatever the case may be to mitigate any bad reviews. And also, if there's sites where that are ranking highly in Google that don't have a lot of reviews, we can ask our clients and other people to put reviews up there, more reviews up there for us, so that when people search for a company, the sites that are doing well in Google for our company name have good reviews out there. So another thing, people may search for the company and if there's bad reviews are the biggest issue. And the best way to get to mitigate that is to get more good reviews and reply to the bad ones, so it doesn't seem like you don't care. Everyone has bad reviews, but we want to encourage people to put good reviews where possible. So with that being said, the process here is we're going to find anything that's not the actual website of the company, and I'm just going to open it in new tab and check to see that all the information is exactly the same as it is on Google My Business. And that also includes things like highway, if it's spelled out highway versus HWY. We want it to be exactly the same. I can't stress that enough. So here's our phone number on Facebook. Of course, the Facebook listing, most people update that pretty regularly. So that is, of course, it matches. I don't see any issues there. If we go down to something like porch, which is something for landscapers and contractors and whatnot, and which sites actually show up with your listing can vary depending on your industry. So Avo and those sites like that for attorneys, and there's quite a few others depending on whether you're in healthcare or legal practice or whatever. So it's the same for every same process for every market. So we're just going to check here. Address Silverbrook Drive, West Bend, and that's for whatever reason that seems incomplete. So I'd make a note of that and see what we can do on each of these sites to go back and correct that information. And as I mentioned, we do have some automated services that you can use, that our clients use to do this, and also suppress any duplicate listings that may be out there that will definitely hold you back. So that's essentially what we're doing here. Just going through Google for the business name. Another tip here is to search for any old addresses or any old phone numbers that you might have used in the past, and see if any of those are still listed as with your business name next to it, because that's a very bad thing. So we want to make sure that if you have moved, even if it's been 5 years, it's always a good idea to check for those old addresses and phone numbers and make sure that your company name is not listed for any of those also. So doing this is a surefire way to get yourself more traffic and better rankings in Google My Business and Google Maps.